Welcome back to another episode of Dark Cloud. I'm Mar, and today we continue in the Wise Owl Forest. So between this episode and last, I did several things. The first was that I realized the defense items give the defense boosting items like the fluffy donut for Tone give a random amount. So I went back and got better amounts by replaying the game. And I will now mainly be using them between episodes when I can save scum to get the best result. May notice that so I also did a lot of leveling. I currently have Xiao working on the second bandit slingshots, that way she can break it down and throw it onto Tone's weapon. He's using a chopper now, a very slick looking single-edged sword. I have thrown a lot of gems into this blade, and I have more to throw in. So that'll be happening soon. Once Xiao finishes. Hate these things, they're so annoying. You can't fight them from range, so you have to get close enough. It's particularly annoying if you're playing a Xiao where you just kind of want to run around and attack everybody from range. But anyway, yeah, so the important thing is I made sure that I got all the treasure everywhere. Like with an actual walkthrough, I made sure I got all the important treasure. And I leveled up weapons and cried because I spent way too long and got way too few bandit slingshots. I've only found 2 so far, and I spent like 3 hours looking for them. But hey, at least I found the amount that I need for right now. And so I'm just kind of hoping that as I progress through the story, I will look out and keep finding more. Because I am not going to be looking for any more for a while. I'm all tapped out on farming. I need to not. And I'll be doing it with several other weapons as well. I might end up doing that on stream. Like, I may just decide to turn on my stream while I'm doing that kind of farming. Like, there's no particular reason not to, right? Ow. I'm good at life. Obviously, Xiao was the one holding me back there. Clearly not my fault. Like, I'm just saying that if it were me there and not Xiao, I wouldn't have gotten hit. Probably because I would have been running the other direction, but details, right? The specifics of why I wouldn't have gotten hit don't matter. All that matters is that I wouldn't have, unlike Xiao. Also, I just realized I totally came in here without water, so I really hope one of these rooms has one of these rooms on one of these floors has a pool. Stupid hornets. Come on. There you go. Good annoyance. I don't think I have an antidote either, because I got used to selling them because Xiao casually loots them from pretty much a lot of enemies, and well, it's only one enemy type, but there's a lot of them. It's the ghost looking things, and because yeah, I don't think I have any. I do not. That's unfortunate, huh? But anyways, the ghost looking things in Divine Beast Cave. Give them. Okay, let's see if I can get anything good from this circle. I do not run over these circles with a good weapon equipped anymore. Hey, that's nice. That's convenient. And the reason you don't run over those circles with a good weapon equipped is because one of the things that those circles will do is, how to put this? So one of the effects of those circles, I'm kind of just casually putting extra attachments on this because they won't convert as well, but they're still something that's useful. Hey, got me some premium water. Monsters pumped with energy. You know, that's okay. Hey, cool. And I successfully released the trap even. Okay, cool. Got a small sword. Does it have durable on it? If no, it's fodder to be sold. Fodder to be sold then. Okay, cool. All that matters is whether it has durable on it, because durable is an effect that's going to be really annoying to get until later in the game. Later in the game, when you can buy weapons from weapon stores, you can just save up a bunch of money and just buy a bunch of weapons, and so you get ones with durable on it, which I'll probably actually just, that I probably will just do on stream or something. But anyway, so what I was saying about when you break down weapons, you get 60% of it. So I'm getting 60% of whatever upgrades I put on the bandit slingshot. So I'm just kind of throwing whatever's convenient onto it. Also, I've gotten really lucky with it consistently being the first thing that I give it on this run. Not sure why. But whatever. To the next floor. We've got plenty of time left in this episode. And we are not to a scene floor yet, I don't think. Oh, we are to a limited floor though, but that's fine because I was gonna use Xiao anyway. Kind of annoying because she's poisoned, but it'll be fine. At least they picked out did I say weapons? Enemies that are easy for Xiao. I mean, as long as you've been leveling her anyway. Or have picked up a bandit slingshot at some point, because honestly, the slingshot I'm carrying, not all that special. Like, it's only a +3, I haven't put anything special onto it. I've just been putting effectively throwaway upgrades on it. So like, if an enemy can be defeated by this, they really aren't all that hard. You just have to get lucky enough to get what is probably the best item from a chest for Xiao that you can get at this point. And that right there, that effect right there is why I don't walk over those with important weapons on. Status of equipped weapon change. What that does is randomly changes some of the stats. Like, see, it doesn't have any magic anymore. Now, I'm not sure what the limits of this effect are, but I do know that they can be entirely negative. It does not have to give you the same stats, just distributed differently. It can leave you with less stats, which is really frustrating. So, you know, better to not have that happen. Xiao wasn't poisoned, I would go for that, but I'll go for it anyway. What's the worst that can happen, right? First I gotta defeat all the enemies though. Make sure I have all the exit items. Worst comes to worst, I just have to play this floor again, right? Okay, let me repair that. That was rude. Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday when I'm recording this. So there's that. I'm not sure if that's relevant to anything, but it was definitely a thing I could say that could fill the silence, you know? Honestly, that's half the work of this kind of long form content, right? Oh hey, I can steal antidote drinks from those guys. Good to know. Glad to know my decision of not buying them or keeping them in stock is still the correct one. Because enemies just have them here. I can steal from these guys too. Yeah, I'm fine. I just need to be on the right floor, that's all. And then it's fine. Also, I definitely look a lot weaker than I currently am right now because I'm using an unupgraded weapon, talking is hard. A relatively unupgraded weapon. But like, believe me when I say that the Xiao is really strong, as is Tone. Xiao's fallen behind Tone a little bit, but that's because... Look, so the reason you have to upgrade your weapons is because they max out on stats, right? This happened a few upgrades ago. Because it requires a ridiculous amount of rock and metal to build up into this one, which is the better one to build up into for reasons I don't feel like getting into. Nah, I'll get into them. For Tone, I selected what weapons to build up into based off the final weapon I want him to have. I want him to have the Chronicle Sword. It's his best weapon aside from the Chronicle 2, which you get by beating the extra dungeon, at which point you don't need a better weapon, so who cares? So, like, So with Xiao's weapon, though, there's only one upgrade path for her. So it's really just a matter of what weapons you want to hit along that upgrade path. And what you want to do is take the longest upgrade path that you can. And the reason you want to take a longer upgrade path is really quite simple. As I'm sure you've noticed, it takes more and more abs to level up. Well, your weapon resets back to +0 when you upgrade it. So you don't want to upgrade it until after you've gotten to the point where leveling it up is starting to feel kind of difficult. Because while there is a cap on how much abs things can take to upgrade, it's high enough that it's really not feasible to meet until at least the 3rd dungeon consistently, and even then it's kind of a pain. And the less you have to meet it, the better for you, you know? Better to not have to deal with that, is what I'm getting at. Because there is a point where I think it might actually get more time efficient to look for power-up powder. And, yeah. Only I need to say that doesn't have a super high chance of spawning anywhere. Okay, yeah, that's right, that's what sapphires give. I was just checking what these gems gave to see if it was one that I needed. What I really need is a diamond. Like, that's what I really want. Get a diamond for Xiao, that would be beautiful. Those diamonds give 10 to metal and +5 to everything else. So that would probably get Xiao at the point where she can actually upgrade. The earth isn't too bad because there's plenty of enemies that you can get the Earthbreaker from Stonebreaker, whatever it's called. The one that puts up your damage to earth monsters. That's pretty easy to get because there's plenty of earth monsters in the Divine Beast Cave. There are, however, no metal monsters in Divine Beast Cave or this forest, which would mean I would have to wait to upgrade her weapon until the 3rd area, which is currently, to be fair, what I'm doing. Unless I get lucky and find a diamond, or enough of the metal breakers from other sources to get her through it, then I'm just waiting. That's all that's gonna happen. Because it's not worth it to me to go the other path, because honestly, with 50 attack, Xiao is plenty strong enough to be defeating the enemy, and she can be putting up her elemental damage and things like that instead, and it works just as well. Plus, I figure maybe I'll get lucky and keep finding bandit slingshots, and it won't matter that I can't level up her main weapon because she'll be busy leveling up the side bandit slingshots the whole time anyway. And thanks for that escape powder. Good to know that's what you steal from King Mimics. Anyway, bye-bye, King Mimic. Oof, that was some nice XP if you were watching the bar. Got like a quarter of my XP bar filled there. Oh boy, Beastbuster. Man, that is just sad to get out of one of these chests because Beast Busters are really, really easy to get. There's a lot of enemies you can get Beast Buster from. Anyway, so yeah, got more areas to do in this game still. Pick the boat. Off we go. But yeah, so the upgrade path I'm taking Xiao's weapon down is one that's longer. It takes her through more weapons before she gets to her final weapon. Because Double Impact technically skips a tier to upgrade to. And so I'm deliberately taking a longer path. But yeah, so that's what's going on there. That's why I'm gonna be so obstinate about about what weapons Xiao upgrades to. Actually, after this it doesn't matter. The only thing that after this that I have to do, which will probably put Xiao's weapons on hold, is wait until I can get a weapon for one of Tone's weapons that gives Drain. Anyway, so we're just gonna keep going until we get to the first event floor. So not all this episode, but because there's no way we get all that done in this episode. Also, just to like make a point about how strong Tone is at this point. Yeah. Mimics aren't even the enemies he's strongest against. You should see what he does to a plant. Because I've just been slapping gems onto his weapon, so it's not... So the damage isn't coming from his raw attack stat, which isn't all that much higher than Xiao's with that weapon equipped. That attack is coming from his elemental damage and his enemy type strengths. Because I threw a fair number of gems, which all around the board give a lot of bonuses to your damage against specific enemy types. I gave him a lot of gems. His numbers are pretty high right now. Like, it's a little ridiculous. It's fun though. I mean, look at that. Just one shot everything. It's always nice to ride these, you know, being overpowered coasts while you can, because eventually the enemy stats are gonna catch back up, right? Like, hey, that's convenient. Cool. Okay, upgrade that. There we go. Now, status break it. There we go. Okay. Now she equips her actual weapon again. And Tone goes... Oh, by the way, Tone also has the special ability Quench, which comes from a weapon called the Kitchen Knife, which I found as we were wandering. Yeah, I imagined that I figured that I was gonna max the attack out. I'm not gonna actually put that on there until I upgrade his weapon to... I think the sack looks cooler, so that's probably the one I'll go with. In this case, it actually doesn't matter. Both of Tone's weapons are fine to upgrade to. The important choice will be at the next upgrade tier, where I have to pick the one that will eventually feed into the Chronicle Sword. Okay. Let's keep on keeping on. Gotta keep on running at fast speeds. Hello, Premium Chicken. Also, I was looking up what max stats were, and I have to say, I'm very disappointed to say that you can't actually reach them, and I think that's a bummer. So max defensive stats you can reach because there's no, like, real maximum. It's just if you get the maximum off every defensive boost item in the game, this is what your stats will be. Also, Yeah. That's what happens when you hit something weak to fire right now. Elemental damage is good in this game. Anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying? I think I lost it. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Maybe I'll bother listening to it back so I can start next episode off with whatever it was. No promises though. Hello there. Oh, I was talking about max stats, that's right. So defense doesn't have a proper maximum, it's just each character has a maximum that they can get to if you use every defensive item in the game. That's whatever. Everyone does have a max HP and a max thirst, though. Max thirst across the board is 10, I believe, and max HP varies from person to person. There are not enough Fruit of Edens and Gourds in the game to hit that maximum, which I think is a real bummer, you know? I think that really sucks that you can't do that. Also, this is apparently going to be a slightly long episode because I don't want to do the episode break before going into the back room area here, so we're just gonna go. Take the boat. Get in the boat, Tone. Thank you. Also, yeah, Sundew is the item. You turn a normal leaf into a boat. Not all of these made sense, to be honest. But they're not supposed to, right? Like, this is supposed to be the recounting of a tale that makes you question whether it's a fairy tale or not, right? Like, it's not supposed to make perfect sense because that wouldn't make it feel like a fairy tale. Also, I'd just like to point out 131, and these and stamina enemies like this are halving my damage. Oh, that's right. I hate these things with a burning passion. Honestly, they are very annoying. Oh, that's annoying. I was really hoping I had an anti-poison amulet, but it doesn't look like I do. Anti-poison amulets make those enemies in particular a lot less annoying. Tone is fine. I really can't wait until I have the shop for this area, and you can buy cheese from that shop, and cheese is a better healing item than bread. So I'm really looking forward to being able to have a higher tier healing item. I don't really feel like I need to fight those other enemies, so I'm gonna just run back this way, you know? Discretion is the better part of valor. And also, I don't really care about getting experience right now. It's actually kind of irrelevant to me. Like, it just straight up doesn't matter. And the reason it doesn't matter, for the record, is because I don't want to level up that much right now. Like, it'd be nice if Tone did, but honestly, at this point, he's utterly over-leveled for this area. At this rate, I'm gonna enter the 3rd dungeon still one-shotting everything. Not to mention that at some point, I still need to farm 4 more bandit slingshots. You have any idea how many enemies I'm gonna have to kill during that just to progress through the floor? It's gonna be obnoxious. So like, I didn't guess right the first time. Sad days. Second try. Should have picked the stone. Should have known. Anyway, but that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.